Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the arena at this time your special guest commentator for the next match, the Anarchy Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Wild Billy Byers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time. We are going to determine a number one contender for the Anarchy Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. BJ Hancock taking on the Priest of Punishment, Michael Judas. Brett Wolverton here with the Anarchy Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Wild Billy Buck. Billy, it's good to have you back up here in the booth.
Oh, thank you for having me. I think last time I was here I couldn't talk because of my ribs.
Yeah, you were in the healing process of that rib injury. Now this week we determine who will be the next contender for your heavyweight championship. You know, you said last week that you didn't care who was put in front of you, from Slim J all the way up to the guys like Michael Judas. If you had to choose right now between BJ Hancock and Michael Judas, who would you like to face for the heavyweight championship?
You know, I got to give credit to BJ because I've been in the ring with him several times, and he's a dangerous man. But the man standing across from him right now, the most intimidating man in this building, Michael Judas. Everybody knows Michael Judas, and to make a name for yourself, go up against Michael Judas and get a victory over, no doubt about it.
Well, you know, I know BJ Hancock is looking at this match as a way to get another shot at the heavyweight championship that's sitting here at the broadcast table now. But as you said, an opportunity against Michael Judas, that's a tremendous way to make a name for yourself. As you see, Judas just threw Hancock back into the corner. Hancock thought he was okay, but Judas pulls him right into the center of the ring, drops the elbow. Hancock in trouble in the early goings of this contest, having his face raked against the top rope.
Wow.
You know, Michael Judas has always been one of the most intense superstars in Anarchy. He seems to be showing even more now that he knows another opportunity at the heavyweight championship is in his grasp.
And what's that mean for Billy Buck? It means I got to step it up.
You know, Hancock had a tremendous 2014, winning the heavyweight championship, was just recently one of the runners-up for the most improved superstar of the year by Georgia Wrestling History. You know, award won by former co-holder of the tag team championship and a former heavyweight champion in Jeter. So tremendous men nominated for that award.
Them shoulders in the corner are vicious.
Look at how easy Judas is picking up BJ Hancock. Hancock right around 220 and just tossed him like he was nothing. Yeah, Miss Rachel back with BJ Hancock at Seasons Beatings. That was a different story as Rachel was banned from the building. You know, some say that may have been a factor in you winning the heavyweight championship, but of course, talent does that just as well.
That's exactly right. You know as well as I do, Rachel puts her nose in the business where it don't belong.
Hancock's up for El Crucifeo, but able to get out of it. Not only did he go to the eyes, is that a shoe? Who uses a shoe? Tremendous clothesline, but the referee's distracted. You can have a number one contender right here. D. Byers, if I were you, I would be a little leery about turning around. Judas distracted. Hancock goes up and over the top rope. Uses that top rope to choke Judas. Now Hancock dropping the elbow and again softening up the neck of the Priest of Punishment. Obviously BJ Hancock favors that pile driver, a maneuver you know a lot about because you've been on the receiving end of it a time or two.
Very well, very well. You know, believe it or not, BJ was smart about this move. I mean, he was very smart, as much as bad as I hate to say it.
It's rough when you have to say something good about somebody you dislike, isn't it?
Very much.
Hancock stomping away at the chest and throat of the Priest of Punishment, Michael Judas. I'm confused at the guy that was just chanting USA. Is the Heart of Darkness not in the United States? Hancock drives the knee into the head of the Priest of Punishment, Michael Judas. Goes in for the cover. Judas quickly able to get out of that. Hancock's choking Judas, driving those arms into the side of the head.
That's a Hancock move I'm familiar with.
This is a dangerous move for Miss Rachel. Yes, it may be effective in wearing down the Priest of Punishment, but would you want somebody like the Priest of Punishment, Mikael Judas, upset at you?
I've had him upset with me time or two.
Is it going to be difficult, if the Priest of Punishment is your opponent for the Heavyweight Championship, to put that friendship aside, knowing that you're going to have to go through him if you want to retain the title?
Oh, yeah. But we all know when we step into this building, we're here for one thing, and that's to be the best. The title is a precious gold to hold, but to be the best, that's what you always here for. And we have that same respect.
There is a locker room full of wrestlers that would like to be where BJ Hancock and the Priest of Punishment, Mikael Judas, are this week in our main event. They would love that opportunity to face Billy Buck for the Heavyweight Championship. But this week it's going to be one of these two, the Priest of Punishment, Mikael Judas, or BJ Hancock, that gets that championship opportunity. And while Billy Buck, the heavyweight champion, is sitting here at the broadcast booth, not only, calling the action with me, but also scouting two of his potential opponents.
Definitely, definitely.
I have to ask, have you had the opportunity to be in the ring with Mikael Judas before?
Yes.
Okay.
Several times.
All right. I'm completely familiar with your history with BJ Hancock. Not as familiar with your history with Judas, as Hancock's head just rammed into the top turnbuckle. Hancock comes charging in, catches the turnbuckle again. Whip into the corner. Judas comes charging in with a clothesline. Charges into the opposite side. Another one. And wait a minute. I don't know if our cameras can pick it up, but Jeff G. Bailey is out here watching the action. Last week he seemed over the moon that these two were going to face off for a shot at your championship. The clothesline from the top rope, and Judas goes for the cover.
Oh, so close.
Only a 2 count is somehow BJ Hancock able to get a shoulder up. Looks like Judas is lining up for a choke slam. Hancock may not want to turn around. He didn't like what he saw and he got out of the ring. A wise move by BJ Hancock. But Rachel consoling BJ over in the opposite side of the ring. Maybe not for long, because Mikael Judas has climbed out of the ring and is headed towards BJ Hancock. Well, wait, have a seat, BJ. I'm a little surprised D. Byers let that slide, but when there's a shot at the heavyweight title on the line,
anything goes.
You can be a little bit lenient with the rules, I suppose, because we want a decisive winner in this contenders match. BJ Hancock has endeared himself to the crowd so much that the fans want to see him thrown into the guardrail right in front of them. BJ Hancock's back driven into that ring apron. They said time and time again that ring apron, one of the hardest parts of the ring. It's wood and steel. It's the frame of the ring. It's what keeps the ring standing.
Exactly right.
BJ goes up, gets able to get behind. D. Byers just taken out with a clothesline by Judas. But Judas gets right back up. Hancock is out, but so is D. Byers. There's nobody to make a count.
So we got it.
Wait, what's Rachel doing? Rachel's getting in the ring. What in the world has she got in her hand? Powder right into the eyes. And now Jeff G. Bailey gets up. Just pushed in. No, Judas. no! I don't think Judas realizes who he's got!
This place is going off the roof.
Choke slam! Jeff G. Bailey, man, he is so ecstatic!
This place has blew the roof off.
Rachel is out! BJ Hancock has Judas up! A pile driver! He just realized what happened to Rachel. BJ Hancock totally forgot about Rachel and tried to wake up D. Byers. Now he's got to pull Judas away from the rope so he can get the count. Lars Manderson pulling Rachel out of the ring. Cover made. A count. 1, 2, and no! Judas got up!
So close.
Hancock looks like he's ready to pull his hair out. Hancock pulling the knee pad down. Think he's going to go to the top for the knee drop. Is it going to be bombs away for BJ Hancock? And he dives. Judas gets out of the way. Imagine the damage that might be done to the knee of BJ Hancock. Judas is up to his feet first, Billy. I think we may be seeing the beginning of the end. A boot. Picks him up. And away we go. El Crucifix by Judas. 1, 2, and 3.
The winner of the match and the #1 contender to the Anarchy Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, the Priest of Punishment, Mikael Judas!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Wild Billy Buck has left the broadcast booth. He's headed up to the ring as we now know who the #1 contender is for the Heavyweight Championship. It is the Priest of Punishment, Mikael Judas. Billy Buck offering his hand to show respect to his #1 contender. There's a handshake. And now the #1 contender for the title. Wait a minute, Judas isn't letting go of the handshake. He's got the title. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Wild Billy Buck will have to defend the heavyweight title against the Priest of Punishment, Mikael Judas. And I can't wait to see that encounter. Again, another handshake, a show of respect. BJ Hancock just shoved Mikael Judas into Billy Buck. Billy Buck goes out to the floor. BJ Hancock is out of the ring. As Mikael Judas is trying to go after Hancock, Billy Buck just got back up. Wait, no. Wait a minute. Billy Buck thinks Judas shoved him. He doesn't realize there was an assist from Hancock. BJ Hancock is leaving the ring proud of himself. Mikael Judas has the heavyweight championship. Some harsh words from the Anarchy the #1 contender for the heavyweight championship. It will be another night where these two